Sorry. Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Culver Town Council meeting for April 10th, 2025. Before we get started, we could remind everyone that this meeting is being recorded and your participation in the meeting is your consent to be recorded and rebroadcast on the town's YouTube channel. Also, if you have any type of electronic device, if you kindly put it on mute or airplane, it'd be greatly appreciated. Roll call, please.
William Clevenger.
Present.
Justin Croy.
Present.
Jeannie Monroe is absent. Emily Ricciardi.
Present.
Dana Neer.
Present. You please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
to the republic for which it is one nation, indivisible, with justice for all.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the minutes of the March 27th, 2025 regular meeting. Council members, have you had a chance to review the minutes? Are there any additions or corrections?
It looked fine to me. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 27th.
Ms. Ricciardi moves to approve the minutes of March 27th. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Mr. Neer. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Minutes approved. Next on the agenda is public concern, utility, ordinance, or violation of appeals. Anyone in the room for any one of those? Anyone online?
No one's in meeting.
No one? Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is public dialogue. Anyone here for public dialogue? Online. Old business. We have no old business. New business. Next is consideration of 2025 P001 by the Culver Town Council. Culver Plan Commission certified proposal to amend the Culver zoning ordinance regarding solar energy systems and energy storage systems. Ready? Okay. This is consideration of 2025 P01 by the Culver Town Council. This matter comes before the Culver Town Council and the Culver Plans Commission's certified proposal to amend the Culver zoning ordinance regarding solar energy systems, energy storage systems. After certification pursuant to Indiana Code 36-7-4-607, Section 1, and Indiana Code 5-14-1.55, public notice was provided for the council's intention to consider the proposal as regular scheduled April 10th meeting. Said meeting was conducted and the proposal has been considered. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Chester Good.
Where do you live, Chester?
Pardon?
Where do you live?
Oh, 21 Fleet Parkway, Culver.
Okay.
I'd like the council to consider some changes to this ordinance for solar power, particularly any ground mounted to keep any ground mounted solar panels or siding mounted solar panels out of the limits of the town. And for L1 also, the L1 district, the roof mounted, fine. But I think it would be could be a hazard to children. And I think it would devalue properties. And I think it should, the setbacks from the town limits should be at least 250 feet It's something we discussed, plan commission. And, I think it's 75 feet now. But, it would be appreciated if the council re-examine those two items. Thank you.
Thank you.
The ground mounted large scale, the ground mounted medium scale are only permitted in the suburban, industrial and agricultural zones by special use, which means they would have to get a special exception.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so it's not permitted by right. At least that's what I've read. I wasn't on the committee. I brand new to this job, but my understanding there was a committee that created this document over the last maybe year or so. And so I can't speak to the details of the language beyond that, but it does have reference to those being only allowed by special exception. So
That is correct. It would have to go before the plan for consideration. Anything other than the micro and the growth column.
so your BZA would have to grant permission.
yes, but if it was, eliminated from within the city limit, within the town limits, it wouldn't have to do that. They could do it for the other parts where the ordinance covers.
Yeah, it covers the 2 mile radius. So I
Yeah.
guess the BZA is going to take that into consideration. If somebody has a petitions for a special exception, they'll consider that, and most likely I would think not approve something within the town limits, but to exclude it completely, that I don't know. That's up to this board to consider whether you want to address that.
Point of clarification, I think, though, when we say excluded from the town limits, the incorporated limits do exclude large scale solar in its entirety. So I think, Chester, your original point was that you want to see that setback from that corporate limits go originally from 250, if I understood you correctly. The plan when doing essentially the conversation is reduce that down to 75 foot now within the town. Essentially, the large scale solar cannot occur inside 75 foot towards the limit. It has to be outside the town limit by 75 foot. You want to see that extended to 250. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Okay. Thank you.
I don't know what your feeling is on
I don't have one. I'm listening. Thank you, though.
it. I'm not against solar energy, but in the right place.
So we consider this, or we have to amend this again?
No, you do. Well, I'm just saying, statutorily, you have the right to adopt, reject, or amend. So you can, if you're going to amend, then you need to say specifically what you want to send back to the plan commission for them to consider. And there's timelines built into the statute on that, so. Or if you want to discuss it further, you can table it until your next meeting. You have 90 days from that time that the plan commission voted on this. When that one was that?
Oh, yeah, it was last month.
Yeah, okay, so we got plenty of meetings, couple of meetings before. So you can, if you, let me see here, make sure we're following
18th of
the law.
March.
Now, the moratorium expires, I think, in June? So we have to do that before that happens.
Yeah, they've only got 90 days anyway, so that'll happen before then, but if your intention is to consider the proposal at another meeting, you're just gonna have to give date as such, announce at this meeting that you plan to address it at the next meeting, and then you're gonna give a date, time, and place of that hearing, which if it's your next regular scheduled meeting, we already know what that is. And then you're gonna have to publish a notice in the paper again that you're gonna consider it at the next meeting. And you have to allow written objections to be filed, and you have to hear them at the next meeting if you're gonna amend it in any way. Otherwise, we can adopt what was proposed.
Council, Mr. Mayor, what's your opinion?
Well, I think it's a consideration we should look at. I mean, I don't think right now, any of us are probably stating an opinion. Is this something that we should have a session over? Session,
Mr. Murray?
You can't have a closed session.
right, closed session, but a work session? Yeah.
Sorry. It's up to you.
You know, I think that this has been, bandied around quite a bit. And if the plan commission actually, they, agree with the 75-foot special exceptions, all the other requirements. I don't have any objection to that distance.
So you're for changing the distance or
Now, I'm just
keeping it the way it is?
as it is.
Mr. Cry?
My opinion is I think we need to do a little investigation and bring it to our next meeting until we can, one, clarify what's been said, because I'm still a little confused, I guess, of call it that. Clarify what's been said, take into consideration what the gentleman said, and then revisit this. And it'd probably be good for a solar ordinance to have the whole council here as well. So I think just revisiting, looking into it, doing a little bit more due diligence on our behalf as a council would be a good idea.
I have a motion to table.
Make the motion.
Mr. Neer moves to table this until the next meeting as a second.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Croy. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
But just be clear for the state, Indiana Code 36-7-4-606. You are going to consider it at your next regularly scheduled meeting, or you consider this certified proposal to amend the Culver zoning ordinance regarding solar energy systems and energy storage systems. And we will publish a new notice of that hearing, and it'll be considered at the next regularly scheduled meeting. I'll get Karen what that notice needs to say.
And Kevin, this could be the only amendment. I mean, nothing else has been brought up.
Yeah, but when you do that, you have to allow some written objections that can be filed, which you can address at the next meeting. If anybody wants to file a written objection to this document as it's written.
I'm just thinking, is there anything else? Chester, you're representing the plan commission, is that correct?
No, I'm just here as a citizen. I'm not talking to the plan commission. Plan commission's already voted on.
Can you think of anything else that you might want changed? The only reason I'm saying this is that if we postpone this we go forward 2 weeks, then I hope we don't have another correction as to, or suggestion on your part.
Someone else is gonna-
L1,
Or someone else's part.
keep it out of L1 and all L1 and R1 areas. No ground mounted.
So you were on the plan commission, sir?
Yes, I'm on it, sorry.
Okay, and you raised these concerns at the plan commission?
I'm not speaking for the
I
plan.
understand. I'm just asking if you raised those concerns, and then I assume it was voted on the 75-foot or
Pardon?
I assume you guys voted on the 75-foot versus the 250-foot.
Yeah.
At the plan commission level.
These are just my own
Right, okay.
opinions and
Okay. Next on the agenda is department reports. Anyone on for emergency services?
Hello, Mr. Clevenger, I'm on.
Mike, what do you have for us?
I do have one thing I'd like to bring up, speak with you guys about tonight. We need to set up some type of a maintenance program for our striker pieces of medical equipment in the ambulances. Basically, we have 8 pieces of equipment, 4 in each ambulance. And Stryker does have a 3-year preventative maintenance program that I think would be good for us to do. I don't believe any of those pieces of equipment got maintained last year. I don't think I wasn't involved in the 2024 budget or the plans for last year, and I don't ever recall them coming in and doing any service on it. Thankfully, we didn't have any breakdowns, but they highly recommend that our pieces of equipment get maintained every year. So with that being said, like I said, it's a 3-year preventative maintenance program. We can pay yearly, and the cost of the plan is $10,820.50. And just to kind of give you a quick little rundown, basically of what that gets for us, basically it's a yearly preventative maintenance program. It takes care of all the repairs, the repair parts, labor, travel for the technician, and battery coverage for all of the pieces of equipment. And the Stryker pieces of equipment that we have in each ambulances obviously are the cots, the power loads, the physio control cardiac monitors, and Lucas devices, which are the automatic CPR devices. That contract also covers any replacement batteries that we might ever need in the 3 years. And basically, we need basically in each ambulance 10 batteries, because the monitor takes 2 batteries and then everything else takes 1 battery. And then we have to have a backup battery at all times, just in case if one would ever get low. We always have to have a backup to the backup. So we're looking at probably for everything, we have 20 batteries. They're all in good shape now, but they lose their juice over time. And those batteries really can cost us, depending on which piece of equipment we're talking, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a piece. So just maybe the batteries are alone, or it's just this maintenance program, I think would be a good thing for us to have, to make sure all of our high dollar pieces of equipment are up to date or up to snuff every year, every day. So
To go back and, you said $10,820 is for 3 years?
yeah, $10,820.50.
Is that per year or?
No, that's per year.
You have a copy of the
I can email you guys a copy of the quote.
okay,
Okay.
that would be good. I'd like to take a look at it and see what it has to say. But
Mr. Neer?
Yeah, I guess, clarify one more time, then what did we do prior to this?
Mr. Neer, I don't think we've ever had a contract with them. I know in 2023, we were having cot issues and a power load issue. And I know they had to come out a couple different times, but I don't know. I wasn't the director then. I don't know what like that cost us.
We had
So,
no
yeah,
preventative plan, maintenance plan.
I don't think we've ever had one of those. I think it's just been, hopefully nothing breaks down. And if it does, then they have to come out. But these pieces of equipment, if these break down in the middle of a call, it's not going to be a good thing.
Right.
Mr. Coy?
We don't, are we looking to do this now is my question. Are we looking to, is
I would
that what he's
like
asking?
to see what the has to say what
Yeah,
the
me as
estimate
well.
is and,
Yeah. Okay.
and what it entails, what it warranties, what it doesn't, whether insurance is included in that,
I agree.
and actually take a look at it.
Is that all right with you, Mike?
2 weeks.
Yeah, I can email them the quotes to you. They don't say much more than what I told you. But
All right, thank you, Mike.
I think the only other thing we could do, would be, I'm gonna have them come out and maintain the equipment no matter what we do. So we could try, have them come out, do the maintenance on the equipment. There's nothing that needs to be fixed on those pieces of equipment right now, but they do need to be, some of the things need to be greased, oiled. The monitors all have to go through to make sure they're calibrated right. The modems have to make sure that they're working right in the monitors. They do a little tightening, a little adjusting of the cots, greasing of the power load. So that's the main, just preventative maintenance. And like I said, there's nothing that I know of that need to get replaced. What we could do is I could have them come out, do the preventative maintenance. We could see what that would cost. And then maybe look into doing this next year. It's basically just an insurance plan. Like we all know, we don't know if we ever really going to need it. But like I said, if a cot breaks down or the monitor doesn't work in a cardiac arrest, it's not going to look good for EMS and it's not going to look good for the town of Culver. And if it's because we haven't maintained this stuff, it's kind of a liability, I'd have to think.
Understood.
Mike, when you bring, excuse me, council, but Mike, when you bring the quote for, or provide the quote from Stryker, you've already said it, but just to be clear, add the comparable for just 1 year, bringing them in for a general maintenance. That way we can compare. And then the question becomes how much extra it is for that insurance that they're backing us, that's field ready equipment.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to cost for them just to come in to do the maintenance.
Find out.
Okay.
Anything else, Mike?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Fire?
Yeah, I'm
Terry?
here. Yes, sir.
Yes,
I just want to bring up that it's tornado season and we've had some trouble with in the past with our tornado sirens. And at this time right now, we have 2 tornado sirens that are down, not working whatsoever. I'm working with REMC and Bob and Damon at the town to try to get these things down and service them. There's no timeline. I don't have any idea what it's going to cost to get these things back up and running, and I'm sure it's going to take time. That's my biggest concern right now. And besides that, I don't have anything else for you guys.
Terry, location of the two?
16th Road and 19th Road.
thank you. Anything else, Terry?
No, that's about all I have for you guys. Thank you.
Wayne?
I don't really have much. I put monthlies in your box. Kind of reiterate, Terry, I mean, we're pretty fortunate with minimal storm damage for the storm we had. Lucky for that, I don't have anything else unless you have something.
Anyone have anything for you, Wayne? Clark?
Just going to say, I assume you're still working on getting applications.
We've got our Easter egg hunt is next week, and the following week after that, we have, it's Global Youth Service Day. So we're taking advantage of that and having an event that day. Anyone who has a team, a troop, a group, a family member who needs service hours, let them know that they can come help clean up at the park and, get stuff ready for, spring. That's all we got.
Thank you. Bob, utilities?
I'm on. I have nothing for you. You have any questions for me?
Council have anything for Bob? All right, town manager report.
Don't go too far there, Bob. Stay with me, buddy. First thing I have a request for, Bob submitted a quotation for the wastewater plant. The furnace is non-commissionable. I don't know what the right word was, but it's not working. So Bob went out and got a quote from Mid-City for the repairs. It's going to save us money because we have our pocket Damon who's going to do the installation and the work on it. Total bill is $7,366.25. That's for you guys, and I'm submitting it on behalf of Bob this evening to get an approval.
That's for the sewer plant.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Mr. Sardi moves to approve the invoice for the sewer plant. Second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Coy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
For the same sign.
Appreciate it. Thank you, council. I know Bob appreciates it as well. I've got in front of me are the plans from BS Engineering for our Lakeshore widening project, part of the CCMG grant that's going underway. We're moving forward with it. We had public notice put in the paper for open bids. BS has provided these plans seeking the approval of the council as well as Bob and myself. I've signed it. They are the smallest signature lines that you'll ever see, so we'll wait till after the meeting to get it signed, but I'm asking for approval of these plans and we can get it back to BS for proceed forward.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Mr. Muir moves to approve the plans, I guess, for the widening of the road.
Shorter.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sardi. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
All right, hold on, here we go. Since we last met, we put out the tree RFS for the services, and we are looking to move on that by the end of May to get the tree removal, stump removal, and some trimming done, working in coordination with the tree commission. Like I said, BS and Amber put out the Lakeshore widening notice for the bidders, and we're moving forward with that. Excited to get that going. Was up at the mayor's office in Plymouth. We had our kind of county leadership meeting with the other town managers and individuals. Was a good meeting. On the topic was the emergency service response to Bourbon. And we were discussing updating our plans, and we all consider ourselves in that need. One of the things that was discussed is to kind of set some time aside with the county and try to develop a universal plan. So we have consistency across the board in the county. A lot of people responded to Bourbon. We're helping out, and it'd be nice to have a consistent set of protocols to understand and to be able to service in times the needs like the storm produced there. Other discussion was a lot of what's happened in the State House, but nothing to report from there. Tree Commission met last Friday, moving forward with the IU tree program. There's some reservations and concerns by John Helfrey. We're considering those, but John was elected also during that meeting as our tree commissioner, our tree commission president, and want to congratulate him on that. Stephanie Wells was also from IU part of that meeting, and they had a great chance to have a dialogue with her as she part of the leadership on their end. Again, 100 trees in November will be nice. It'll be good to see after we get done ripping them out in the spring. What's up 24/7? Karen and I attended a nice meeting up at the Reese, where we were able to hear Secretary of State Diego Morales. A lot of good things happening in the state of Indiana. It was good to get the update, and the What's Up 24/7 app has some interest, I think. So I think on a countywide level, they're considering it. Last night I attended community school. Michael De Leon was the speaker, talked to the kids yesterday about vaping. It is an absolute concern. It was a really solid talk, to be honest with you, but it was also scary. I was blessed with a daughter that I didn't have to do high maintenance on, but the things that they're delivering THC in now and the way that they're packaging it is shocking. And the lack of regulation is even more concerning. And so I felt like the talk went really well, and thank community school for that. Job updates, and with permission of Wayne, I was able to do an internal posting for the chief position inside the department, and we have that posted. Met with about 10 seniors this morning over at Culver Community after football practice. Their guidance counselor brought them in. These are seniors that are looking for employment, may not have a track yet. And so we discussed the wastewater job. And there was at least 4 individuals who expressed interest, and the guidance counselor endorsed 3 of them. So 3 out of 4 ain't bad. I'm hoping to follow up with them. I'd love to see that position filled by a young person, and we can certify them, train them, and add to the community that way. They all had the desire. It was interesting. They all want to stay in the community. Just struggling to find a way to do that. So it's good to hear. We've received 3 applications for the assistant clerk position, assistant to the assistant clerk position. I don't know what to call it. And all 3 candidates are solid. So that was really encouraging. Pure update. We're putting them in, getting nervous, getting them going, but weather's breaking, and I think Owen's going to get going out there. Council consider work session. We're going to need to discuss rates for the water and sewer. We've had that on the agenda for a while. I think Karen and I both would like to see that happen before the end of this month. That way we can move into May with it. I think we have some information targeted for you that might help that conversation. And so let us know. You can email Karen or myself on dates, or we'll reach out to you with a date, see if it works. Just want to put that on your agenda.
How long a work session do you figure this might be?
4 hours, Bill. No.
Scratch out your side.
Bye-bye pizza, scratch out, yeah. Probably about an hour. And I would think an hour, we could cap it. Okay? I think that's all I got for you guys tonight.
Council, what's your pleasure for a work session?
I would like to do it before town council meeting,
Okay.
but I would miss the next town council meeting. Track me, sorry. But I could do the, but you want to do it before the end of the month is over?
That was desirable, but not mandated.
Okay.
We could do it first meeting event.
You love those Friday nights at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, do you?
If you make lasagna for us, Kevin.
No, we got fish fries at that. May 8th is what I'm hearing, maybe. Yeah. Would that work for you? Check
Yes.
your schedule. How my
Yes.
people get with you? Valley?
May 8th.
Mhm.
That's not before the end of the month.
No, it's not. I'm making a concession. Thank you, Sally. Had a hard time with that. Now I'll make it.
You mean having it prior to the town council?
If we might, yeah. 5 o'clock, 5:30, 5:30 may be best. Yeah.
That should work.
Let's do for 5:15, gives us a little buffer. Is that all right? 5:15, okay.
That's correct.
That's fine for me.
President, we're good?
I'm fine with that.
All right, we'll tentatively schedule it May 8th, 5:15, work session. We'll get it posted. Thank you.
All right.
Update on the clock, Kevin. Update on the clock. How's that?
I was just gonna let that linger. Dave.
Okay, never
You
mind.
really kind of
Never mind.
ruined it, but in case you're wondering, they didn't steal our clock downtown. It's just take it down. We were gonna start that rumor. It's Karen's idea. They removed the clock for repair and reconditioning. They promised to bring it back. You wonder where our clock is.
What's on your report,
You're
please?
frank. I've got a couple of claims over $2,500 for your approval. I think the last meeting, you did approve the DME elevators and lifts, $2,830. That's for the elevator inspection. Compass Minerals Americas, $3,627.08 for contractual services for the street. VS Engineering, $5,421.60 for engineering on that Lakeshore Drive widening. Best Equipment Company, $5,550.03. That's for repairs for the street department. Xylem, $10,305.35 contractual services for the sewer department. And then the Indiana Department of Transportation, $73,575. And that is for a change order for the Cass and Slate Street project that we're working on. Approximately $63,660 is going to be reimbursed by Troyer Group and covered by them. So at the end of the day, we're out not as much.
Motion to approve claims over $2,500.
I think that motion.
Mr. Neer moves to approve claims over $2,500. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Croy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh, same sign.
Thank you. Just a reminder that the sidewalk sale or townwide garage sales are coming up April 25th and 26th. If you want to have your sale listed, get that information to me by the Tuesday prior. Townwide cleanup is Monday, May 12th, so you have the weekend prior to set your stuff out at the curb for Bob to pick up. Working on a couple of reports that are due in April. The first one is a TIP management report, which I hope to get finished tomorrow, and to the redevelopment commission for approval before I file that on April 15th. And then the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds report, which is the SLFRF, which I listened to a webinar yesterday that was an hour, and listening to them trying to get that all out for an hour was quite entertaining, but that is due April 30th. We need to do an additional appropriations, and I kind of gave you that heads up after the first of the year when we paid out to NDOT for the two projects, the Lake Max Trail Phase 3 and the Cast and Slate sidewalks, or $250,000 out of the street department. And I'm going to ask to do a public hearing on May 22nd for that additional appropriation. Another thing, the charging station that we have, that was paid for by the grant. Fees went into effect, I don't remember when, within the last 6 months, I think. We had to have it free for the first couple of years and then implemented fees, and you all set those fees. They now have to charge sales tax on that, and I received a question from the company that maintains that. They actually take care of filing the sales tax and everything, but they are questioning whether we want the fee to stay the same to the customers. So we would actually lower our fee and include the sales tax, or if we want our fee to remain the same and add sales tax above that. At this point, right now, the fee the rate is going to be the same, and then the sales tax is going to be added on top of it, unless you want to do something different. If you want to do something different, then I believe we'll need to change our ordinance.
Basically sounds fine to me
To leave it?
Yeah.
leave it.
Okay.
We reinventing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Could I have a motion just so I can show it into the record that that was your desire?
You want a motion?
Yes, please.
I'll make a motion to have the fees for the recharging stations remain the same, with the sales tax added on.
Mr. Shardy moves to keep the fees the same and add the sales tax. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Neer. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
The last thing I have is we opened up applications for the sidewalk program on April 1st, and I've received within, I think, 2 days, received 4 sidewalk applications. The total is $4,117.40. That would be reimbursed to the applicants. I provided you a copy of what was applied for. This would replace approximately 935 square feet of sidewalk and 18 feet of curbing. We budget $15,000 for that program, and so there's still $10,882.60 remaining. So try to leave that open till September, and have, if people want to apply, basically they can apply until the one's out. If you are okay with that, I'll take a motion to approve those applications and get that all started.
Motion to approve the sidewalk. The move by Mr. Croy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Shardy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Tankersley.
Thank you. I'm Kevin Tankersley. For those that don't know me, I'm going to be the new contracted attorney for council. I've been practicing law in this area for 30 years. My office is in Winnemac. I'm looking forward to helping you guys with your legal issues. We got hit the ground running. There is already a pending lawsuit from the Plan Commission called a petition for judicial review. It's not any money involved, but it still requires you to enter your appearance and defend the actions of the board. It probably will end up in a hearing from the court, but nothing to be concerned about. And I'm going to make a point to reach out to all the department heads and get to know everybody, make sure that there's an open line of communication so we get ahead of any legal issues that might come up or anything I might be able to help them with. But otherwise, I appreciate you having me. I look forward to working with everybody.
Thank you very much. Council issues, Mr. Mayor.
Have none.
Barry.
I have none except to welcome
Thank you, sir.
Tankersley.
I have none. Mr. Coy.
I don't have anybody have a question. How are the applications for the park going for the summer help?
We're fully staffed. Everybody's getting all their ducks in a row to get, everything taken care of. But, almost, well, not almost everyone. We had a really good number come back. And we had everyone pretty much filled up with like, it was pretty smooth this year.
Good. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Mayor moves to adjourn. Chair seconds. All those in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Adjourn.
Here.